Hey everybody, Darren here again. Wanted to share with you blog number 137. When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. This was written January 11th, 2020. I'm going to read through this blog post and then share some additional thoughts at the end as well. While I am all for focusing on strengths approach, this needs to be tempered with some major self-awareness. As the old saying goes, if you only have a hammer, soon everything looks like a nail, which basically means if you only have one way of resolving issues, you will likely fail. You have to use the right tools for the job. If you are going to lead a team, whether it is as a coach or a manager, you have to start with you first. If you are a one-trick pony, you're going to lose the faith of your followers quickly. You need to develop your own skill set as much as possible, allowing you the entire toolbox of solutions instead of just one blunt instrument. The approach of trying to pound things into submission only works in certain cases, and if you want to succeed, you need to have your own repertoire of options. After 13 years as the head coach of the ASU racquetball team, I have learned a myriad of things which have made me a better person. Patience, empathy, tough love, kindness, and many other skills that I was, let's call it, deficient in, have been improved during the course of my time there. I have an entirely new group of kids and team mentality from when I started, and I have had to evolve accordingly. This journey as head coach has been the most personally rewarding thing that I have ever done, and I look forward to more of it for as long as possible. I think I have maintained a younger mindset because of my affiliation with college kids, and I have learned as much from them as they ever have from me. I can apply the same thought to my sales approach as well. I have evolved into a much more empathetic person, changing the mission from hitting sales goals to helping others choose the best solution for their problems. I firmly believe that my company's service is the best, and therefore it's easy for me to sit in the conference room of a large corporation and share with them the reasons why they should choose our service. I have made a living taking business from competitors and outshining them going head-to-head for a client who is new to the services that we offer. This didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of work, a major mentality shift of my own. I'm in a better place mentally and spiritually than before, and it shows in all that I do. That has been my evolution, my skill set's improving. I do a better job now than before in pretty much everything that I do. I impart better information as a coach and as a salesperson than I ever did before. In retrospect, I used to be a hammer. Everything I did was done in the same fashion, many times with the same selfish intent. I wasn't deliberately screwing people, but I knew that I won business deals and coached matches with me in mind first, instead of the right thing first. I try not to lose sleep over that fact, and I pray I didn't set a bad example in the beginning. There is nothing that can be done about that now, other than learn from it. Now I continue to improve myself in effort to offer more, to do more, and to do the right thing as often as possible. That is a platform I can preach from. Now I am setting an example that can be followed. It took me a while to get there, but I do believe that's true. I have learned to be more adaptable, to consider what others have to say, and incorporate best practices from all angles in my own pursuit. I am working towards becoming a swift army knife instead of a hammer. What I want is to be multifaceted and have much to contribute in more than one area. For my public speaking, I want to have a long list of talks on a variety of subjects. I don't want to just be a specialist. I want to be a highly skilled generalist. I firmly believe that my approach to excellence in one area applies to almost all others, regardless of the topic, and my approach and insight will be helpful to those who listen. I am still a work in progress, just like everybody else. However, I have been afforded the luxury of my life that I have... sorry about that. However, I have been afforded the luxury of the life I have led and the relationships I have, and I want to share as much as I can. I know that I have been very fortunate to have had the struggles that I've had, just as much, if not more, than the successes. You don't know who you really are until you've gotten knocked down and to see how you deal with it. It is my mission to help as many people as possible in effort to pay back the life that I have been given. I hope to expand my opportunities in the coming months and years, and I will keep you posted along the way. I wish you luck in your endeavors. So some additional thoughts about that. I like the Swiss Army knife status that I am trying to achieve. I know that most speakers focus on one particular topic and go an inch wide and a mile deep. I'm not really sure that's how I want to do this, especially since I love speaking at the university level. I'm not going to go in and do a sales pitch to a bunch of college kids. So that has to be very different in and of itself. Some of the talks I do at the university level are things like getting ready for your first real world interview, or your first day on a new job fresh out of college, or how to avoid a bunch of the financial traps that are quote unquote set for you as you transition out of school and into the business world, starting to make some real money for the first time. I have made a lot of mistakes in those areas and have spent a lifetime correcting them. So I want to do my best to help people avoid those mistakes and learn from my own instead of having to suffer the consequences of doing it themselves. In my public speaking, I am seeing a wide variety of opportunities already in completely different areas. I'm going to be doing some talks for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Unfortunately, I have my own experience in that realm, and how I ended up doing public speaking kind of resulted from what could have been a horrific car crash that I was in a couple of years ago. I got lucky, I walked away from it, but I definitely felt like I had been given a second chance, and I should absolutely do something to take advantage of that. So public speaking has become my mission to try to help as many people as possible. I didn't want to just speak to the Mothers Against Drunk Driving groups because I have more to contribute than just my own horror story of getting hit head on by a drunk driver at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have been a coach for the ASU team for 13 years, but I have been teaching private and group instruction at all levels of play for 25 years. I have been in the business world for 30 years. I have learned an awful lot being in sales, and all of the people that I have met and gotten to know over the years definitely have a lot of people to thank for the personal growth that has afforded me, for sure. So as I continue down my own path, I do my best to make sure that I'm always learning and growing and doing my absolute best to share that with anybody who hires me to speak or allows me to come in as a volunteer guest speaker, whatever it may be. I always want to improve and always want to help others do the same. I am a work in progress just like everybody else is, and I always remind myself of that. I don't stand up on stage because I have all the answers. I stand there because I have some of the answers because of some of the things that I experienced. And if those experiences can be helpful to you, I want to make sure that you know those things now instead of having to experience them, course correct as you go through that stuff and come out the other side. If I can shorten your learning curve, get you to understand things that I know now at an earlier stage in your process, you're going to be better for it for sure. The satisfaction that I got as a coach was the most personally rewarding thing that I have ever done, and I'm hoping to expand that in my public speaking as well. I know that it will be a different format as I spend usually 4 years with the team members, and I have a lot of personal one-on-one time with them. Obviously, public speaking is not the same. But if I have the opportunity to influence or to help somebody or to make an impact and have them reach out to me later on and say, hey, I heard you talk at this class, or when I was at this school, and then I continued to follow you online and I read your blog and you said some things that really helped me, that would make all of this effort worthwhile for sure. The opportunity to get paid as a public speaker is, of course, on the radar, but I definitely am doing this as a passion project for myself and something I've wanted to do for a long time. And hopefully the money will follow. As I said before, speaking at the university level, I don't envision getting paid to do that at any time. The schools just typically aren't set up for that, but I love it enough that I would do it for free anyway. So with that, I'll conclude this podcast. As always, I wish you luck in your endeavors, and if I can be of assistance, please reach out to me. I'm making as much noise as I can, so I don't think I should be that hard to find. If I can help, let me know. Thanks and stay safe.